Ladies and gentlemen, they said you weren't special. They told you to be realistic. They looked you dead in the eyes and expected you to settle for average, for mediocre, for whatever the world handed you. But here's the truth. When you are undeniable, when your skills are sharpened, your focus is fierce, and your excellence becomes second nature, the world has no choice but to pay attention. That's not just motivation, that's strategy. That's what separates winners from the rest. This speech is for the ones who are tired of being overlooked, for the underdogs, the grinders, the obsessed. This is your fuel, your blueprint. Stay locked in for the next 8 hours, because by the time we're done, you won't just be better, you'll be unstoppable. You'll learn how to become so great, so polished, so unshakably powerful, they literally can't ignore you. The power of becoming undeniable. Let's start right here with the truth that most people don't want to hear. Talent isn't enough. Potential means nothing if you don't put in the work to develop it. The world is full of talented people who never went anywhere. Why? Because they weren't relentlessly excellent. If you want to be so good they can't ignore you, you need to develop obsessive consistency. That means every day, every hour, every rep, you are building yourself. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You need results. The kind that speaks so loudly that even your enemies have to stop and respect you. Let the world underestimate you. Let them laugh. Let them ignore you now. But while they sleep, you're building. While they waste time, you're working. While they complain, you're creating. Your actions today are building your legacy tomorrow. Your work ethic must become your identity. You don't just work hard, you live hard. You train like the world is watching, even when no one is. Because the truth is, greatness isn't built when you're in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows, in the reps no one sees, in the pain no one understands, in the moments no one claps for. If you want to be so good they can't ignore you, you must train with the hunger of a beginner and the discipline of a champion. No one owes you a thing, so earn it. Create so much value that they can't overlook you even if they tried. Start asking yourself every single day, am I moving like someone who's going to dominate their space? If the answer is no, change it. Get ruthless with your improvement. Forget being noticed. Be unforgettable. Forget being liked. Be respected. Forget fitting in. Build something so strong that they can't do business, run teams, or make moves without thinking about you. And that kind of power, it's not given, it's earned. In silence, with consistency, with fire. Welcome to Hour 1. The next 7 will change how you see the grind forever. Level up or get left behind. You're either getting sharper or you're getting dull. There's no neutral in this game. Every single day, the clock is ticking and the world is watching. Are you rising or are you rotting? Being so good they can't ignore you doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you decide to level up with violent consistency. Not once, not twice, but forever. It's a mindset, a mission, a way of life. You need to become the kind of person who wakes up and chooses war with comfort every single morning. Because comfort is the enemy. It whispers lies. It tells you to take it easy. It tells you that you've done enough. But enough is a trap. Enough is how average people stay average forever. The real ones, they don't settle. They chase greatness with obsession. While others are chasing trends, you're chasing mastery. While others are posting about their grind, you're living it. You don't need to talk. Your results will do all the talking for you. Don't just show up. Dominate. Every room you walk into, bring weight. Not arrogance, but presence. Authority. Excellence. Be the one people remember because your preparation made you undeniable. And don't wait for permission. Stop hoping someone will hand you an opportunity. Take it. Build it. Become so valuable, they need you. And even if they don't want to give you a seat at the table, build your own table. With stronger legs, with a sharper vision, with a legacy they'll study one day. This part of the journey is lonely. It's quiet. You won't get applause. You won't get praise. You'll be misunderstood, ignored, overlooked. Perfect. That's fuel. That's pressure. And pressure, that's what makes diamonds. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of your habits. The reps you put in when no one's looking. As the depth of world measures the first. The hours you grind when everyone else is asleep. That's where greatness is born. So, from this moment forward, tell yourself, I'm done fitting in. I'm done chasing motivation. I'm here to master my craft, outwork everyone, and make it impossible for the world to look past me. Because when you're that good, they won't have a choice. Mastery over motivation. Everyone talks about motivation like it's magic, like it's this spark that's going to change everything. But here's the truth. Motivation is cheap. It's inconsistent. It's emotional. And success doesn't care how you feel. If you want to be so good they can't ignore you, you need something deeper. You need discipline. You need mastery. You need a fire that still burns when the feelings fade. Because they will fade. Motivation might get you started, but it's mastery that will finish the job. You need to build systems that don't rely on your mood. You need to train yourself to show up, not because you feel like it, but because you gave yourself a non-negotiable standard. Champions don't hope to win, they prepare to dominate. That means crafting routines, habits, and environments that push you forward even on your worst days. Especially on your worst days, because that's where the separation happens. That's where the greats are born. Not on the days when everything clicks, but on the days when it all feels heavy and they keep going anyway. You don't need hype. You don't need a pause. What you need is the willingness to do the work that most people avoid. Boring work, painful work, unseen work. That's the foundation of mastery. That's the edge. Do you want to stand out? Then be the one who builds when everyone else is watching Netflix. Be the one who studies the craft while others scroll aimlessly. Be the one who runs drills in the dark so that when the lights come on, you're already 10 steps ahead. Let them have motivation. You're building weapons. You're building skills so refined, so elite, that people won't know how to respond to you. They'll wonder how you got so good, and by then, it'll be too late to catch up. Because you didn't chase moments of inspiration, you built discipline. You became a machine. You committed to mastery. And that's how you become so good they can't ignore you. Brick by brick. Build a legacy, not a moment. Everybody wants to go viral. Everybody wants to blow up overnight. But what they don't understand is this. What comes fast falls faster. If you want to be so good they can't ignore you, you don't build for the moment, you build for the legacy. This isn't about getting attention. It's about earning respect. It's about laying brick by brick every single day until what you've built is too strong to be shaken. You don't need a viral moment. You need a lifetime of consistent, unbreakable work. That's how you become a force. Do you want to be a flash in the pan? Or do you want to be a monument? Something that lasts, something that people study, something that redefines what's possible. That starts with intentional work, not busy work, not movement without direction. No, you don't need to be everywhere. You need to be excellent where you are. Every rep must count. Every detail must matter. Every action must scream, "I taketh this seriously." Stop chasing speed. Chase strength. Chase skill. Chase the process. Because if you fall in love with the process, success becomes a byproduct. Think about the greats: Kobe, Jordan, Serena, Brady. What made them different? They weren't chasing shortcuts. They were obsessed with the grind. They weren't addicted to applause. They were addicted to repetition, to refinement, to evolution. They built their legacy one brick at a time. While others were skipping steps, they were mastering fundamentals. And that's the blueprint. That's the way. There are no hacks, no cheat codes, just intelligent work done over time with relentless hunger. Every day you wake up is another opportunity to stack bricks, to get stronger, smarter, sharper. And while others panic because they aren't seeing quick results, you stay calm because you're building something deeper, a foundation. And when you do it right, when you stay patient and disciplined, what you build won't just stand, it will dominate. Let others rush. You're building an empire. Silence the noise. Let your work speak louder. Too many people are addicted to attention, not progress. They want credit before they've earned it. They want praise before they've proven anything. But when you're on a mission to be so good they can't ignore you, you learn to fall in love with silence. You don't need the world to see what you're doing. You need to do it so well, they'll have no choice but to notice. This is the phase where the average get distracted and the focused get dangerous. It's where the amateurs chase recognition, but the pros chase arrest. Because the ones who truly win, they understand that the real grind doesn't live on social media. It lives in solitude. You don't need to post about your hustle. You need to perfect it. You don't need to convince anyone that you're serious. You need to be undeniable so that eventually your results become louder than any caption ever could. Stop explaining. Stop proving. Just produce. Let the numbers speak. Let the work speak. Let your presence do the talking when you walk into a room. Because when you move with excellence, you don't need to yell. People feel it. There's power in moving quietly. Power in developing behind closed doors. Power in being underestimated. Because while they're sleeping on you, you're building skills they didn't know you had. And by the time they catch on, it's already over. This is where you separate yourself. In the quiet. In the dark. In the boring reps no one cares about. The silent grind is where legends are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. So if they ignore you now, good. Give them a reason not to ignore you later. Be so consistent, they can't keep up. Be so sharp, they can't compete. Be so skilled, they can't copy. Be so committed, they can't understand you. Let your work speak. Let your legacy echo. Let your silence become louder than their noise. Earn the right to be respected. Respect isn't given. It's earned in blood, sweat, and discipline. It's earned when nobody's watching. It's earned when you keep showing up on the days that break weaker people. You don't demand respect. You become someone who commands it. Want to be so good they can't ignore you? And stop chasing applause and start chasing excellence. Stop worrying about recognition and start worrying about reputation. Not the one you show online, the one you carry deep in your bones. The one that says, I don't quit. I don't fold. I execute. Respect is the byproduct of relentless commitment. It's not about how loud you are. It's about how real you are. When people see that you live what you say, that your actions speak louder than any title, than any flex, than any claim, that's when they pay attention. That's when they can't ignore you anymore. This isn't about pretending to be great. This is about becoming so sharp, so prepared, so refined. But when your moment comes, you don't need to rise to the occasion. You operate above it. You want respect? Then do what others won't. Train when it's inconvenient. Study when it's boring. Stay locked in when life gets loud. That's what separates the ones who talk about potential and the ones who deliver results. And you don't need to announce your effort. Real work doesn't need witnesses. Your habits will prove everything. The hours you invest, the sacrifices you make, the standards you refuse to lower. That's your resume. That's your credibility. That's your power. They'll try to put you in a box. Let them. And then outgrow it quietly. And when they finally turn their heads and realize what you've become, it'll be too late to catch you. Because while they were watching each other, you were building in silence, in discipline, in fire. So don't aim to be noticed. Aim to be remembered. Build so strong they can't break you. Operate so consistently they can't doubt you. Deliver so powerfully they can't forget you. Respect is never owed. It's earned, and you're here to take it. Obsess over the craft, not the outcome. Success doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the obsessed. The ones who can't sleep because they know they haven't done enough. The ones who study the game, perfect the form, review the footage, tighten the details. Not for the glory, but for the standard they hold within. You want to be so good they can't ignore you? Then stop chasing trophies and start chasing mastery. The outcome will come. The money will come. The recognition will come, but only when you're willing to focus on the boring, brutal, brilliant work that most people skip. Obsession is the edge. You want to be. Obsession is the difference between someone who wants it and someone who becomes it. While others focus on image, you need to focus on impact. While others check metrics, you need to check progress. While others chase convenience, you chase precision. You refine, you improve, you evolve. Because when you truly obsess over your craft, you don't care if people see you now. You know they'll feel you later. And when that moment arrives, when your preparation meets you opportunity, you will dominate. This isn't about chasing perfection. It's about owning responsibility. Knowing that everything connected to your name deserves excellence. From the way you speak, to the way you work, to the way you show up in pressure, it's all your reputation. It's all your signature. And if you're serious about being elite, if you're serious about being undeniable, then you don't get to coast. You don't get to clock out early. You don't get to excuse mediocrity. You show up every single day with the mindset of a warrior sharpening their blade. Because when it's game time, the world won't care about your goals. They'll only respond to your results. So go deep into your craft. Study the patterns. Rehearse the moves. Sweat the details. Refuse to accept good enough when greatness is still possible. Let your obsession consume the excuses. Let your focus destroy the distractions. The top isn't crowded, not because people aren't capable of reaching it, but because most people are casual about their calling. You're not casual. You're obsessed. And that's why they won't be able to ignore you. And outwork their doubt. Make belief non-negotiable. They won't believe in you at first. Good. That's fuel. That's proof you're on the right path. Because if they all believed in you from the start, you wouldn't be doing anything original. The world's mom paper could say, you wouldn't be aiming high enough. You want to be so good they can't ignore you? Then outwork every doubt they've ever thrown at you. Doubt isn't your enemy. Comfort is. Distractions are. Entitlement is. But doubt, that's the shadow that proves the light is coming. It's a test. It asks, how bad do you want this? And if you're real about it, you answer through action, not words. You don't waste time arguing. You don't try to convince them. You show them. You show up early, stay late, improve constantly. You become so relentless in your pursuit that eventually, even your critics are forced to respect your consistency. Let them talk, you train. Let them sleep, you study. Let them laugh, you build. Because one day, they'll look up and realize you never stopped. While they wavered, you worked. While they doubted, you doubled down. While they waited, you executed. And now, you've made belief non-negotiable. Not just belief in yourself, belief from the world. Because once you become undeniable, they don't get a vote anymore. The results speak. The work proves it. The fire is visible. And the same people who overlooked you will be forced to watch you rise. Here's the truth. No one owes you belief. No one owes you support. But you owe it to yourself to become the kind of person who doesn't need permission. You become the kind of person who makes it impossible to doubt. Not through ego, not through noise, but through ruthless, elite execution. So next time someone says, "You can't," smile, say nothing, then go prove it with results so strong, silence becomes your loudest response. Brick by brick, build a life that speaks for itself. Everyone wants the final product, the awards, the status, the lifestyle. But the ones who actually get there, they're the ones willing to lay every brick, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching. Brick by brick, build a life that speaks for itself. Everyone wants the final product, the awards, the status, the lifestyle. But the ones who actually get there, they're the ones willing to lay every brick, even when no one's watching. Especially when no one's watching. Because when you decide to be so good they can't ignore you, you realize this is a long game, a brick by brick game, not built on moments, built on consistency, not powered by hype, powered by discipline. Because when you decide to be so good they can't ignore you, you realize this is a long game, a brick by brick game, not built on moments, built on consistency, not powered by hype, powered by discipline. You don't build legacy in 1 week. You don't earn mastery from one win. Greatness isn't some lottery you stumble into. It's a structure. And you lay it with daily, deliberate effort. You're not chasing quick success. You're building something permanent, something that can't be taken from you. And to build that, you must think like a craftsman. Every workout, every decision, every hour of focus, it's a brick. Every late night, every sacrifice, every time you say no to comfort and yes to progress, that's a brick. Others will cut corners. Let them. Others will fake it. Let them. Others will rush the process. Let them. You respect the process too much to cheat it. You trust your work enough to take your time. Because you know this. When it's built slow, it's built strong. When it's built right, it's built to last. And when it's built on discipline, no storm can knock it down. People will try to skip steps. And years later, they'll come back asking how you got so far ahead. They'll forget that while they were celebrating average, you were laying bricks in silence. This is the mindset that separates the forgettable from the legendary. You don't just want a win, you want a wall. A fortress of skill, mindset, strength, and work ethic that can't be moved by opinions, setbacks, or failure. So keep building, even when it's slow, even when it's hard, especially when it's thankless. Because soon, the same people who look down on your foundation will look up and realize they can't ignore what you've built. Leave no doubt, let your legacy roar. This isn't about just making noise. This is about making impact. You didn't come this far to be remembered as almost. You didn't sacrifice sleep, comfort, time, and peace just to be good enough. You came to dominate. You came to leave no doubt. Because when it's all said and done and the dust settles, people won't remember what you said. They'll remember what you built. They'll remember how you moved when no one believed. They'll remember how you kept climbing when quitting was easy. They'll remember how you became so good they couldn't ignore you, even if they tried. This isn't just motivation. This is your mandate, your reminder that the world doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to warriors. The ones who step into chaos and lead. The ones who don't flinch under pressure. The ones who demand more from themselves than the world ever could. You don't just want success. You want significance. You want to build something that speaks long after you're gone. That's why you rise early. That's why you grind late. That's why you're relentless about doing it right, even when no one gives you credit for it. Because greatness isn't about being seen. It's about becoming undeniable. Let them underestimate you. Let them forget your name. Let them laugh at your vision. It won't matter, because when the results hit, when the consistency pays off, when your preparation meets your moment, their opinions won't stand a chance. You'll walk into rooms they said you'd never enter. You'll break records they swore were untouchable. You'll become the example they never expected to see and can never erase. But this only happens if you refuse to let up. If you lock in deeper than you ever have. If you carry this fire beyond today, into every goal, every step, every challenge. You've built the mindset. You've mastered the craft. You've paid the price. Now, it's time to collect. Not from them, from yourself. From every version of you that kept going. From every day you stayed committed. From every silent hour no one saw. That version of you deserves a future that roars. So finish strong. Speak with action. Move with confidence. Work with purpose. And no matter what happens next, leave no doubt. If this message hits you, don't just click away. Don't just nod your head and forget. Do something. Hit that like button if you're committed to becoming undeniable. Subscribe to the Power Path, because this is where we build champions, not just dreamers. Drop a comment below. I will be undeniable. If you're ready to go all in on your craft, your discipline, and your future. And if this helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. A teammate, a friend, a family member, someone who's on the edge of giving up. Pull them back in. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss a drop of this fire. We don't do average here. We do accountability. We do obsession. We do legacy. Remember this. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be legendary. So stay locked in, because the grind doesn't stop, and neither do we.